Hi there, welcome to Yoga Nomad. My name is Karen and this is session 5 of week 1 of our beginners course. And today we're going to be looking at hip mobility. So hip mobility underpins almost every movement that we do. And hips can be stiff due to sitting for too long, or maybe you've had a period of inactivity and just not moved very much, which is kind of quite common these days, unfortunately. So if your hips have not moved, this can create shortness, tightness in the hip flexors, and can also weaken the glutes. You know, we worked a little bit on the glutes last session in that bridge pose, and if you found that tricky, maybe that is because your glutes are weak and they need strengthening up, but we can come to that later. It also means if your hips are weak or tight, it means other joints have to work harder. So knees, lower back, and you may find that you suffer with pain in these areas. And sometimes, well, in fact, a lot of time, if you've got back pain, it comes from the hips. So not from the back at all. So let's have a go. Let's see how we get on. If they're tight, again, be kind to yourself. You know, we're just starting out, so just go easy. If you have a cushion or a block, maybe have them to hand. Not necessary though, not essential, but obviously they may help. Okay, so let's start in our seated position. And again, this might feel awful. If it is, sit on your cushion, sit on the block as it tilts the pelvis forwards a little bit. It does feel that little bit easier. Okay, making sure when we are in our Sukhasana, our seated position, our back is nice and straight, shoulders are relaxed. Let's take about 3 or 4 deep yogic breaths. So all the way down into the belly, feeling it in the chest and feeling the breath in the collarbones as well. So get really deep with those breaths. Maybe close the eyes and just find that breath, that superpower breath. Nice, bringing your breathing back to normal. And we're going to find all fours. So coming onto those hands and knees into our tabletop. And you know the drill now. Wrists under shoulders, knees hip distance apart. So we're going to start to have a look at what's going on in these hips first of all. So lifting this left leg out to the side, keeping it bent. Yep, and then we're going to take some big circles with this knee. And I want you to go really slowly, just to figure out what's going on here. Can you feel any tightness, any impingement in there? Is there any clicking going on? Now change direction, see if it feels any different. Go nice and slow. Remember, don't rush anything. Making these circles as big as you can. Nice. Okay, bringing that knee down. Let's see what the other side is doing. So same rules. Knee out to the side. Big circles, nice and slow and mindfully. Figuring out what's happening. And does it feel different? Does this side feel different to the other? If it does, how? This is where we learn. Nice, send it the other way. Again, noticing any tightness anywhere, any clicking, any popping. A couple more. Nice, okay, bringing that leg back down. Take that usual shimmy into those hips. And then we're going to take a lunge position. So if you have blocks, you can bring your right foot forwards. If you have blocks, they may be handy at the front of your foot, either side. You may not need them, but just see what it feels like. If you can, slide that back knee back a bit. And you've got to have this front knee and ankle in line. So make sure everything is lined up. Now you should feel the stretch here in this left hip flexor. So we're going to take 6 deep breaths here. And really pay attention. How does it feel? And if this hip flexor is super tight, use the breath to really find that deep breath, and it will help. Sometimes also you can find it a bit uncomfortable with the knee down on the ground, so you can put like a little folded towel or blanket under there. Two more. And last one. Nice. Now we're going to find it's called our half splits. So don't panic, okay? We're going to send the hips back and at the same time straighten out this front leg. Walk your hands in a little bit and then you're going to flex this front foot. So you're working into the back of this leg now. So take a breath in, lengthen your spine, and as you breathe out, maybe you can fold over this front leg. Now, if you've got super tight hamstrings, you may need that little bend in this front knee. Again, it's all good, whatever works for you. You may find you can get the chest a little bit closer, depending on how tight those hamstrings are. Find your breath. Two more. And last one. Nice. Okay, rolling forwards, back to that lunge position, and then let's come back to that table top, that all fours position. Shimmy those hips. Make sure everything's in line, so adjust if you need to. Tuck your toes. Let's head back to downward facing dog. So send the hips up and back. Head relaxes down. So remember, you can have that little bend in the knees. Your heels don't have to be down, but your back needs to be straight. So let the head relax. Let the shoulders relax. Let the face relax. Take a big breath. Nice, and we're going to come down to all fours again, and we're going to find that lunge position on the other side. So stepping your left foot forwards. Remember, use those blocks if you need them. And then wiggling this back knee back to, oh, did you hear my ankle then? So wiggle the back knee back to your point, yeah? So the point where you can feel it, yeah, but you don't want to cry. Okay, so just find that point, that edge. Check your front knee and ankle are in line. So now we've got that stretch on that right hip flexor. Find your breath. Two more. Nice. Now half splits on this side. So sending the hips back, straightening out this front leg, flexing the foot. Walk the hands in. Keep the hips up nice and high here. So don't sit the hips down. Keep the hips up. Take a big breath in as you lengthen that spine. And as you breathe out, just see if you can fold forwards. Noticing what's happening on this side. Is it different? So yoga is great for really figuring out your body. So use this time. Find the breath. Two more. Last one. Nice, rolling into that lunge position again. Coming back into your all fours. Little shimmy into those hips. And then you're going to find a seat. Okay, we're going to find a pose now called our Baddha Konasana, our bound angle. So bring the soles of your feet together. And you're going to grab a hold of those toes. So there are very few poses in yoga that allow you to use your biceps, but this is one, okay? So again, we're not just sitting here, it's an active pose. So hold onto the toes and you're going to try and push the knees down and at the same time pull on those feet. So back is nice and straight, shoulders are away from the ears again. And you're now finding that stretch on those inner thighs and into those inner hip flexors. Find your breath. Nice. Okay, now moving the feet out just a little bit so you've got this diamond shape between the legs. Grabbing those toes again, take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to pull forwards. So you're folding forwards just to your point. So take the elbows nice and wide. Use the strength in those biceps to pull the body down. And see if you can find that rounding in that upper back. So spreading those shoulder blades nice and wide and getting a stretch across that upper back too. Take a breath. Just one more. Nice. Slowly sit yourself all the way up. We're going to keep this right leg bent, but send the left leg out. So bring this right foot in. So we've got right leg bent, left leg straight, and we're just going to fold forwards again here, okay? So take a breath in, and as you breathe out, folding all the way down. Big deep breath. Nice, okay, come all the way back up. Switching sides. Folding forwards, big breath in first, exhaling to fold. Just go steady, find your point. Nice, come all the way back up. Now we're going to send both legs out. So again, finding your point of resistance. Inhale to sit up as tall as you can. And as you exhale, you got it, we're going to fold as far as you can go. And we're going to take a good 6 breaths here again. So try and use the breath to its full advantage. So every inhale will make space in your body. And every exhale will allow you to relax, soften into that space. So take a big breath in, folding forwards on the exhale and using your breath to get as low as your body will allow. Close the eyes maybe. Figure out the sensations. Just one more. Slowly coming all the way back up. Slowly bring those legs together and then bend the knees. And just rest the chest down, rest the head, take a breath. Nice. Sit yourself up, cross those legs. Take a big breath in, reach up. Palms together, draw them down to the heart, breathing out. Thank you so much for sharing your practice time with me today. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.